Hello everyone. Today's live, really uninspired title, but I think you'll know what I'm going to talk about when I say hungry after dinner. And we could really say this live's about eating after dinner or hunger and cravings after dinner. So welcome everyone that's jumping on. I'm going to talk about a really common, I call them hotspot, in the day where it's that after dinner time between dinner and going to bed, and my thoughts about managing appetite, cravings, and managing that hotspot. So people that are jumping on, thank you so much. With all of my lives, if you have any questions, please just pop them in the comment section. Even if it's not exactly related to this topic, if it's bariatric, nutrition related, please ask away. If you don't know me, my name is Jane Stoltz and I'm a dietitian. I'm Aussie, but I work with people all over the world in my coaching and support program. And I work with people before surgery, getting them ready for their surgery, and every stage after. Oh, I just whacked my microphone. I've got my microphone there because I do a podcast at this same desk. So I'm waving my hands around, hitting my microphone. Okay, so let's talk about eating and being hungry after dinner. And I would love you to put a 1 in the comment if this is a time of the day that you struggle with. And what I mean struggle is that kind of feeling of feeling like you're eating too much, eating the foods that you think you probably aren't the best. Any of that kind of area is struggle. And I'm going to pull it apart a little bit, but anyone that kind of struggles and that's a hot spot for them, a vulnerable spot in the day for them where they're eating, please put a 1 in the comments. So before we get into talking about hunger and cravings and eating after dinner, and I've called this hunger after dinner, but I really wanted to pull apart or really talk about what is hunger and what is cravings, just as a recap. You may have heard me talk about this before. And before I get to that, you may put in, I'd like anyone to put in if they know the difference between hunger and cravings, if you can identify a difference between your hunger and cravings. Hunger, you haven't eaten for some time. It comes on slowly and it won't go away. Any food will do. And my example is broccoli and salmon. You are hungry. It can ebb and flow a little bit. It can go up and down. But you need to eat, it won't go away and comes on slowly, and you're looking at any food will do. So that's kind of a way of looking and just identifying hunger. Cravings come on quickly. I think of them like a wave, like a tsunami. Good. Cravings come on fast for a specific food, good. Cravings come on fast, they peak quickly. You can have eaten not too far away, or you may not have. But you often have a specific food and it's not the broccoli and salmon. You have just generally it's discretionary foods that you're thinking of. And if you don't act on them, they crash, they subside. So they don't last, they do go away, they do go down. So let's talk about if you are hungry after dinner. If you truly are hungry after dinner, what can be going on? 1, you can be not getting enough protein during the day, just protein and general energy. And that is a really common thing that many people, very little in the early part of the day, a bit more in the middle, and then more of their eating is later in the day. And the reason why there are kind of, not problems, but why we can improve that and do better than that is because when you are looking at getting a lot of your intake in that later part of the day, say after work right through to going to bed, you're also emotional, you're also tired. So food choices and all of those things can be not as ideal. My goal with my clients is we get to dinner and we finish dinner and you can check in at a physical level and say, I am done, my cells are fed, I've eaten enough protein. Research shows that when we put a good amount of protein in that early part of the day, we're less likely to have hunger and cravings later in the day. And the reason why I don't advise to get into a regular routine for eating after dinner is because they can start off, your snack can start off or your foods can start off as good options, but over time can merge into being more of that discretionary foods. And you get into that real habit of sitting maybe in front of TV and eating, and it can be non-hungry. It can merge into non-hungry eating and mindless eating. So there are reasons, and legitimately you can be hungry after dinner. And if you find yourself at that spot, we want you to have an intentional high protein diet snack. It's going to get you enough protein into your body so you can go to bed and feel really comfortable. But often what eating is after dinner can be lying more into that craving, more into that emotional time or space. And that's why I was talking about what is hunger and what is craving, because we want to identify if you are wanting to eat after dinner, is this physical hunger or is it emotional? Because that non-hungry eating it's never broccoli and salmon. It's more of the discretionary foods, and it's where you can, one, slow down your weight loss in your weight loss surgery journey, or two, lead to weight regain, okay? Because that's a really common, night eating, snacking is a really common reason for weight regain. So does anyone on here have any questions about this? Because I've talked about night eating or eating after dinner, and they are different things. True night eating is when you eat more than 25% of your calories at night. And yeah, people can definitely wake up during the night and eat, and some people are aware that they're doing it and other people aren't. But I'm talking about that between dinner and bedtime. Also, are you having your dinner at the right time? Because we want you to have a gap from eating before you lay down, yes, but we don't want that gap to be 5 hours because you are going to need to eat. If you do go to bed really late, then that's something to look at or if there's a big gap between eating and going to bed. So being hungry after dinner or having that desire to eat, we need to, one, identify, is it physical or is it emotional? And then we need a plan of action to manage both. And learning the skills, one, get to that after dinner and not be physically hungry. That's the first step. And then the second step is, if you do have that emotional cravings and emotional eating, non-hungry eating, learning strategies to manage that is super, super important. It's lifelong. We all eat for emotional reasons to some degree, but if we don't have good strategies and able to, one, identify and then strategies to manage, that can lead to less weight loss after your weight loss surgery and also to weight regain. So it's a really important time of the day to be confident in, really understand how to get into that place where you can really relax. It's the end of the day, often the kids are in bed, work is done, and it's a lovely time to decompress, but we don't want to be falling into the traps of the eating and snacking and grazing. So any questions, I would love to hear. This is a common challenge and area I work on with my clients. So they have what I call tools in their toolkit, so they really understand how to regulate their appetite, ensure they enter their hotspot physically satisfied, and then also how to manage that non-hungry, emotional and mindless eating, because it doesn't go away. It can go away a little bit after bariatric surgery in those early days. You just don't have that desire and you can think, oh, fantastic, it's gone. I don't have to worry about that anymore. But guess what? It will come back. Old habits die hard and that will come back, and that's fine. It's expected that you get more appetite over time. So I would love to hear if you've got any questions. And as I am wrapping up, I'll wrap up, but if any questions come in, I will definitely answer them. Hello, thank you all for all the lovely waves, everyone. And yes, so I'm enrolling clients now into my boot camp. So if you don't know, I have 3 levels of coaching in my boot camp, and I work with clients pre-surgery and any stage post-surgery. My goal is that you get the most out of your bariatric surgery, but also you're confident in those key habits and food choices so you can keep those results in the long term. Behaviour change is hard and it takes time, and that's why I do what I do, to support you in your journey. It is a big commitment to have bariatric surgery physically, emotionally and financially, and it's not that one day of surgery is only one part of the journey. It is very normal to need support at some stage after your bariatric surgery. If you're struggling in any way after your surgery and you'd like to chat more with me, just get to know what my coaching and support looks like, please just DM the word support. I'll come back to you, or comment the word support and I'll come back to you and we can chat with no obligation. Okay? So thank you so much, everyone, for jumping on. Thank you for the lovely waves. Thank you for the lovely comment about, cravings. And I'm just making sure I haven't missed any. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye for now.